Hi, Amador County. Sue Slivick here on location at the Amador County Museum. We are here on June 14th, 2013, and with me is Phil Girolani with the Amador County Historical Society and John Plez with our Amador County Board of Supervisors. What a wonderful night, long time coming. How you doing, Phil?
Pretty good. It's been a long, it's going to be a long weekend. There's a lot of functions going on this weekend, and I'm seeing a lot of people come in, so I'm feeling pretty good about the turnout.
Okay, you were an integral part of getting this whole thing ramped up. John, let's kick back just a little while in the last several years, how this place was let go, dilapidated, needed all kinds of things, and it was said that if you didn't step up, that it wasn't going to happen and you get involved, and now Phil got got majorly involved. Give me a little wrap-up of where we are today.
Well, where we are today is about to open the museum, but from a historical perspective, Larry Sonato, and I think Phil would agree with me that a lot of the kudos and credit go back to Larry. But he came to me and said, John, you know, what's it going to take? The county had closed the building after having put somewhere around $400,000 into the roofing and so forth on it, but didn't have the continuing funding to do the remainder of the repairs necessary and operate the museum. Larry came to me, was smart enough to enlist the services of this guy right here, who's a doer, not a talker, and between us and a lot of cooperation from the board and the Historical Society and Phil and a whole host of others, have managed to encourage government to get out of the way and let, you know, valuable volunteers step up and get the job done.
And certainly if you didn't hear that, you can't compliment him enough, and I think that stands for the whole county. Thank you and all the other efforts for all the Historical Society members and all the volunteers. Your thoughts today as we look at this beautiful, painted, organized, everything logged. The place is absolutely beautiful. The grounds, we've certainly showed a lot of the grounds through the last week. Tom's showing you the beautiful paint. I mean, I've never seen paint like this. How do you feel about how everybody came together to bring us to this night when we're doing the re-grand opening?
Well, Sue, I'm going to save those comments for a little talk that I'm going to make later, and I'm going to cover a lot of the points that you're. So I really don't want to speak about it at this point. Okay,
let's then wrap up what's happening here. This is kind of a VIP special night prior to the big shindigs that are going on tomorrow with the rededication of the Kennedy Wheel.
We've invited our society members, volunteers that have worked on the project, people have donated money to the project, our dignitaries who some have helped in a special way. So it's a night for us to all feel good about each other.
Celebrate.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad my husband is well. And
just pan at the crowd that we have here.
Tom certainly has, and the ground. So let's listen to what's going to be said here. We'll capture a bit of it, and we will enjoy the evening too, because it is definitely a grand reopening of the Amador County Museum.
Thank you for being here too.
My pleasure. I'm with Georgia Fox. Georgia Fox, how's it going? You look absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you. This is a day that I've been waiting for 5 years since I retired. I am so excited about it, and all of the people, oh my gosh, it's wonderful.
It's amazing how everything pulled together. You know, you could be here 2 weeks ago and say, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I wondered about that myself.
But isn't it like putting on a big wedding? You
yes.
know, how the house and the yard and everything get all cleaned up, or a big party
at the last minute. And I was just doing the flowers a while ago, just a few minutes ago.
It's a joyous occasion. It's a time when you feel like the community can all rally up now and open the museum and share our history. Right. You were the curator for how long?
Almost 20 years. Well, I was here for 20 years with Cedric. And he left, and then I took over, and so I had 20 years then altogether.
As we look around here, we see a lot of faces that we've seen over the years. Yeah. It's nice that they're still involved. I heard Miss Pat Girolani say it would be nice if we could get some of the young people involved.
That's the biggest problem, getting young people involved in history. Yeah.
Exactly, and to be able to share our beginnings here in Amador County, some 140
159 years.
You would
Today, 159 years.
Let's walk, as Tom's walking over there, let's walk over here. Maybe we could grab Cedric as we see Cedric here, because it's some of the old faces and the new, and I'm going to come by and talk to Pat, maybe.
Georgia, how you doing?
Cedric Clute, I had to say hi to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. It's a lovely afternoon and a lovely day for the museum. And,
My former
and
boss.
the lovely Georgia Fox.
Cedric, you were here, the curator. What years were you the curator here?
You got me. What years were they, Georgia?
Well, you left, I think, in 89 or so, or something.
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. When we came to Amador County in 1987, you were the curator, I believe.
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I'm getting old, so I'm having those, senior
And that's okay.
moments.
I am
trying
so
to
grateful.
remember
Look at you.
when
I'm going to put you over here. You two, it's like as if you
89,
coordinated.
and I was his assistant for 4.5 years. And when he retired, 89, 91, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Maybe he left in 93.
Okay.
So,
Your thoughts today as the museum reopens?
Oh, it's wonderful. I'm very, very happy. And I see there's something on the sidewalk over there that was covered. We only live, a block from here now, and I've been wondering what that was in the sidewalk.
Well,
And it looks like I don't know what it
I think
is.
you're going to take a look at that.
we have to see that.
Good to see you both. We're going to
Good to
check
see
out
you.
and talk with a few more people right here at the kind of
Great.
cocktail, the reopening, but a little gathering of dignitaries and people that involved.
The supervisors, well, it's just wonderful because the supervisors and Phil have worked together, and we had an agreement with them, and it's just gone like clockwork.
It has.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, you two, and I'm so glad you're both here tonight. With me is Judy Jebian. You are quite involved with the community. Tell me all your different roles you're playing.
Oh, my goodness. Besides the museum?
Yes.
Well, I've been on the wastewater committee for the city, and mostly lately it's just been museum.
Okay, and you're one of the directors?
I am on the board, and I'm also the secretary.
Okay. Your thoughts tonight as we gather to reopen the museum and all the efforts put in to get to this point over the last several years?
This is the big payoff. No, I'm very excited. This is a wonderful evening, and it's a great thing to see happen. I'm excited.
As you look around, you see some of the community members that, of course, you've got some fifth-generation people as I look around who certainly are interested in the history of our community. And I'm seeing a few younger faces, and I understand that to pick up where some of these people are leaving off, it's time to get some more young people involved and to take care and pass on the history of our community.
Absolutely, that's critical.
Big challenge, huh?
And a challenge.
So what do you suggest? I see some young people out there that are kind of man in the fort as the people come in here. Those are some of the young people we're looking at.
Yes.
Company
and
C or some of the...
when they come in costume, you know they must be interested.
Exactly. So it's up to the directors to latch on to those young people and give them an opportunity to share inside and kind of develop their skills and be
Or whatever they consider their skills to be, try and work it in.
Okay. So, all in all, it's been a great weekend. It sounds like the microphone's working over there. We're going to go check out what's going on as they
Okay.
announce everything
Thank
tonight.
you. Thank you for
Judy.
coming.
You're welcome.
Many volunteers in order to have this event this evening. I would like to, at this time, if we can all look at the flag and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one republic, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce you all to the museum committee. And if I can have you, when I call your name out, if you can come up to stand out by me, please. Ed Arata. Georgia Fox. Philip Girolani. Jenny Girolani. Judy Jabian. Myself, I'm Bobby Keeling. Laura Matley. Alicia Miller. Jim Nims, I don't believe I've seen him yet. I believe he's absent this evening. Donna Saunders. Is Pam Sharp here?
I haven't seen that.
I believe she's absent. And Keith Sweet.
Very cool. Good eating cookies, Keith.
Getting ready for tomorrow.
This committee has worked very hard, very diligent in doing the new exhibits, working on inventory, working on all the exterior parts of the building that you see, the outside grounds. A big hand needs to go off to all of these people. Thank you. Yes, thank you. At this time, I'm going to call up, hopefully we have a few ACHS board members. Edarata. Charlene Buckley, I believe she's absent. Thornton Consolo. Georgia Fox. Wayne Garibaldi, I believe he's absent. Philip Girolani. Wayne Garibaldi, I believe he's absent. Philip Girolani. Gina Hallquist. Judy Jabian. Myself, Alicia Miller, Chuck Ratto, Gary Rynell, Dana Saunders, Keith Sweet. You haven't moved. And Grant Vogel. I believe he's absent also this evening. These are your ACHS 2013 board members. Give them a big hand. At this time, I'm going to turn the program over to our president, Philip Girolani.
Thank you, Bobby. Yeah, I don't know, this is pretty squeaky, but let me get my notes out because I think last time I was in front of a crowd and looked for my notes. I couldn't find them. This time I'm sure I made sure I put them in my pockets. Philip Girolani, Amador County Historic Society. Good evening, and thank you all for coming. I'll try to be brief as possible, but on this occasion, certain things need to be said. A couple of years ago, at the reopening of the mine model, several people were congratulating me on the work that had been completed, and I responded to them by saying, "Save your accolades for when the museum reopens." Well, the museum's going to open, but guess what? I'm not looking for any accolades. In this life, there's nothing sweeter or more meaningful than personal satisfaction. As president of the Amador County Historical Society, and more importantly, as a member of this community, it gives me a tremendous amount of personal satisfaction to announce the reopening of your museum. Larry Sonato and I have known each other over the years, and had recently been working on trying to convince the city of Jackson to stop the proposed demolition of the Biscaglia Restaurant building. Unfortunately, we were not successful. Sometime after that, on one of Larry's walks through Jackson Gate, he encountered my brother and I working on an old house. I think at that time he hatched a plan to get me involved in the Historical Society, and specifically to do work on the museum. I became a member and shortly after was elected to the board. The Historical Society had an agreement with the county at that time to do the work necessary to get the mine model open. So I set out to get that done. Georgia Fox has operated the mine model since its reopening a couple of years ago. On more than one occasion during this time period, I would ask Larry, "I thought you were my friend. Why did you get me involved in this mess?" His reply, "Because you're the right man for the job." As was the case most of the time in his observations, Larry was probably right. With me ready to do the work, Larry set out to raise money. A fundraiser was held at Tommy's Event Center in February of 2010. In 2010, I believe that was the date, but I'm not sure. And with generous support from Larry himself, Stan Luke, Pat Crew, the Rancheria, and many others, over $35,000 was raised. That fundraiser was instrumental in getting us to where we are today. The next part of this story was quite frustrating. After our success with the mine model, I presumed the county would be eager to allow us the same opportunity with the museum. That was not the case, and over several months, nothing seemed to be happening. Draft agreements were sent back and forth. Sometimes we ourselves were not aware of who had the latest draft in their possession. There were disagreements in wording that couldn't be resolved, and at that time there were internal problems within our own organization. But with renewed support from the Board of Supervisors and from like-minded people on our board, we prevailed. In October of 2012, the Board of Supervisors approved an agreement that would allow the Historical Society to do the necessary work to allow the museum to be reopened. It was a bittersweet occasion, as our colleague and torchbearer, Larry Sonato, just days before the agreement was signed, passed away, and we were not able to celebrate this achievement with him. On several occasions, I was told, this museum will never be open to the public again. It has too many problems. There have been circumstances and individuals that have worked against the reopening of this museum, but we have overcome them. I don't want to waste time talking about the problems when there are too many people to thank for making this day a reality. There is no way to mention all those who played a role in this project. Suffice it to say, everyone performed a meaningful role in getting us to where we are. There are some who I will mention. The work on the museum began on October 30th, 2012. From the beginning, Bobby Keeling and Judy Jebian have been there for me. I thank them for having my back. Just when I might be thinking there was little support coming from the community, someone from ARC showed up and promised to bring a work crew in. Or Dr. Frank would arrange a work party from LDS to come over and help out. Steve Lewich came by and offered to work on the grounds. Someone would call and offer to donate $500 for the plants you see planted around us. When most of the seismic and ADE work had been completed and there was a great deal of painting and cosmetic work that needed to be done, both inside and out, Keith Sweet showed up. Keith, your work ethic and humor are greatly appreciated. It has also given me great satisfaction in seeing my wife and sister become involved in this project. And then there was a sidewalk coming from the street to the entrance door, uneven, patched in, and ugly. Not quite an entrance you would want. So one morning, I see Leonard Williams, who had done the concrete work on the mine model, and I asked him to come by and take a look at the sidewalk. While he was here, we discussed several options, and I mentioned we could ramp the walkway from the gate to a certain point. And he says, "Now you're talking." What you see now, the repaired gate, the sloped walkway, and the beautiful etching in the concrete, is the combined work of Leonard Williams, Tom Onetto, and James Hill Concrete. I have only one thing to say to you. You done good. And that's what I want to say, and I believe if my friend Larry Sonato were here this evening, he would say the same thing. To everyone who has played, helped in any way to accomplish our goal, you've done good. Everyone here this evening, I think you've done good and should be applauded for your efforts. So give yourselves a hand. Again, thank you all for coming, and enjoy the evening and the reopening of our museum.
I'm with Larry Angiers, renowned photographer. You are at almost everything. You've been capturing the history for how many years now?
Since I had to ride a bicycle to him.
Okay, and you were born and raised in?
I'm an Amador lifer.
Okay. Today, your thoughts about the museum opening, capturing the essence of what's going on?
It's nice that it's open again, and it's another attraction to our many attractions here in Amador County.
It is a great day. As you look around, you'll see all kinds of people here, and I think we're just going to kick back and enjoy the rest of the evening, and we've got lots more going on tomorrow at the rededication of the wheel.
Yes, we do. We had the beautiful dedication this morning up at the Vista Point, and it continues.
Tomorrow is another celebration all day long. This place will be open, but the rededication of the Kennedy
the Kennedy wheel number 4.
Number 4. And you know what? You've got to see the picture or the painting of all 4, because until you see that, you don't realize how they were all really set.
Yes, many people growing up back in the early part of the century never even knew they were there until the siding came down for part of the war effort in World War II, and then, wow, we have wheels.
Exactly. So you're going to see more of that right here on TSPN. Thanks for joining me. This is Sue Slivick, today at the grand opening of the Amador County Museum. Thank you for watching. And thank you, Larry.
You're welcome, Sue.
This is Supervisor Richard Forrester, and we're going to talk about the roof on the county building. If Tom can span up, the county got scared off in refurbishing the whole museum because when we pulled off the roof of the museum, we found major damage to the brick, and it had to be reinforced, and tie rods had to be put in. All in all, the expenditure was about $400,000. So that's when the county decided to button up the whole facility and say we can't spend any more taxpayer money on this because we're trying to keep county employees employed too. So we're really glad that the Historical Society stepped up and that their members came in, made a deal with the county, and you know, we had to bend some of our rules too. Most of the time we say you have to have every insurance angle covered. In this bit, Phil Gerlani came in and said work with us, and you know what, the Board of Supervisors did work with them. I have to give really a lot of credit to District 1 Supervisor John Plaz and helping to facilitate that deal. But the board said, you know what, we need to get it open. It's a piece of Amador history, and everything in the museum is, and we're really thankful to the Amador County Historical Society.